Hi crafty friends, Amanda here with Crafting with Amanda. Thanks for stopping by. Today is day 3 of the best of the 30 days of sketches with Christy's Beautiful Life, and this is the sketch. It was designed by Rochelle Spears for Sketches in Time, and the time is T-H-Y-M-E. How clever is that? So I have this photo that my BFF sent me, and it's of our children in a bathtub at their house. And we were talking about it when she came to visit here last September, that she had this photo and what have I done with, because she thought I had it. So she sent it to me. And the card is also going to be a part of this layout, just because I think sometimes those memories are just as important to Scrapbook as the photo is. I did want to kind of give the kids some privacy since they are graduating from college and going out into the workforce, and not that they're going to be tagged in this photo, but at the same time I just thought that this was a nicer way to not expose their little kid parts. Now the paper that I'm using is a Stash Buster, and it was one of my all-time favorite paper packs. I have 2008 written on the paper, but I don't know for sure if that's the year, but it's a good guess. Loved this paper, used all mine up, got a second pack, used all it up. It was like one of those campaigns that if you spent so much you could buy this huge paper pack, like 24 sheets for $5. Well, one of my friends, when she moved, she found that she had duplicates of this paper, knowing it was one of my favorites, called Dotty for You. So she gifted it to me, and I just, with this bathtub scene, there was really no colors in it, but then the card had the sunshine and the blue, and I just thought Dotty for You is the perfect paper for this this scrapbooking memory that I want to keep. I couldn't think of the right words. And I love butterflies. I know others don't, but I do enjoy butterflies. So as you saw here, I was really kind of auditioning the different papers, trying to figure out where they fit on the page. I cut this down, and even looking at it now, it's just like, wow, that's out of scale and it doesn't work. Well, then I realized that it's too wide. I need something that's more tall and narrow to fit in this spot, and so that's exactly what I'm doing here. And I end up fussing with this quite a bit, and and I don't know if you guys do that. I'm looking at the layout, I'm trying to figure out what will work, and I definitely want to have the different patterns in, and I'm going to make a pocket for that card to slip in, so that again I'm saving that the writing of my friend and the story behind why I even have this photo. So I love this little green tag that was on one of the small sheets, and I do have a full paper pack left of this. All that I'm using today are my scraps, so how exciting is that? The wood arrow came from my Close to My Heart wooden embellishment collections, but it matches the embellishment that's represented on the sketch, so definitely getting that information or that nod to the sketch in there. So here I'm just taking the small piece of my multi-purpose mat, and I use it kind of as a background. Sometimes I like to draw the sponge onto the paper. It kind of feathers the edge more than if you do direct to paper with the sponge. So I'm doing all the edges. I did that off camera, and now I'm coming back, and it's a bath scene. You think of bubbles. There weren't really any bubbles in the bath, but I was trying to figure out a way to do that. And as I was putting away my tools, I'm like, oh, this sponge makes really nice round circles. I'll just go ahead and do that to kind of tie in that bubble bath theme. And then I've done this in the past where I use an eraser to make a circle, but the eraser that I picked had been used, and so it was kind of uneven. So here I'm just erasing it to give it more of a flat top. And then I'll go back and add more of these. And I'm going to do second, third, fourth, fifth generation. And the further I get away from having inked it up, the more it gives that halo of a darker color towards the outside, which does look more like bubbles. So I was very excited by that. And here I'm just dry fitting the photos on again, or the layers and different papers. And I've decided, all right, I'm going to kind of do this layout a little differently than I do most. And I'm starting from this top, and I'm gluing down the pieces as I work my way down to the base page. But I want to make a pocket for this card to slide in and out of. So that's what I'm doing here with the foam tape. I'm just kind of making that space that it'll slide into. And then I'm going to put the photo mat paper over top of it and realize that it also is going to need some support on the edges so that it doesn't get bent down. So that's exactly what I'm going to do here. And I end up cutting those a little bit longer than will work. The card doesn't fit in between. So you just pull those up and trim them off, and we'll just add them to the sides here. I really like making these kind of journal pockets or memorabilia pockets. They don't add too much bulk in my scrapbook albums, or at least I don't feel like they do. And yet they are so useful for being able to save those treasures. And here I'm auditioning that vine that was in there, and I'm trying to add a daisy because, you know, me and my daisies, and I have tons of them on my desk. But I decided what I'm going to do first is adhere all of these papers down. So I do that off camera, and now I'm going to go back and try to create some of the embellishment clusters. But as I'm looking at the page, I realized that I did not ink the outside edge of the base page. So I will take care of that real quick. I did speed up the video playback. I don't move that fast in real life. And then while I was doing that, I also cut in yellow cardstock this tub fun. And at first I thought it was going to be tub fun, just 2 words, but then I realized the U in the center, I could make it into a fun little like crossword. And to me, on this particular layout, I wanted a title, but it wasn't necessarily anything that was monumentous. There's sometimes that titles, you know, really set the tone for the page, but I think in this case, the photo is the star of this show. So on this Spirelli piece, that's what I'm going to glue down right here. It's something that my friend Judy taught us how to do, where it's a special punch or a couple punches that have these points on them, and then you wrap thread around. And so that's in gold. And then there's also gold on the card itself that Laura sent. So I thought to give my triangular of gold, I needed something up here in the tag cluster. And now that I've punched a hole for the ribbon to go through, and I don't, with moving and everything, I don't have access to all my stuff, I'm kind of punting or making it up as I go for how I do different things. I don't have my punches, so I don't have my circles or my, you know, tags or my tabs, so I don't have all of my ribbons and my floss for making the pulls on tags. So we're just kind of improvising here. So I just took that shimmer trim and cut a thin strip out and pushed it through the tag, as you saw. And then to adhere these wooden embellishments, I highly recommend the mini glue dots. That and the acrylic embellishments just hold tight with those, with using the glue dots. You can use the liquid glue or an adhesive runner. I've just had the best luck with the glue dots. So here are more of the Daisy Meadow enamel dots, and I love the fact that, again, paper from 2008 works great with paper from 2021. I think that was when Daisy Meadows was out. So that's one of the things that I do appreciate about Close to My Heart and their papers and their inks is they work for a long time with, you know, using the tools that you have. There are some ink pads that I still need though. My plan for the card for adding my journaling to this is on the inside of the card from Laura, I'm going to put my thoughts and notes about how this layout came to be. And I do that off camera, and it's done now, so it's album ready, but that's just, I just thought that that was a neat way to capture that memory. Here's some close-ups of the embellishments and the paper, and you can kind of see some of the details on this. There's that Spirelli, which I absolutely love. I think those are gorgeous. Be sure to check out everybody else that's participating in the Best of 30 Days of Sketches Hop. Here's how you can connect with me on social media. In my description of the video will be the playlist for this hop. as well as I have my own personal playlist. So if you want to see all of the 30 Days of Sketches videos that I've done together, they'll be in the description. Blessings.